Thursday, everyone. I've got my coffee. It is a rainy California day today, and I am loving taking advantage of what I consider the best writing weather. I love a good rainy day when it's cold and you can hear the sounds, and I really like when there's a fire going in the fireplace, and to just sit and cuddle and write. It's like the dream right there. And so today, we're starting a new tradition. As many of you know, I just finished the first draft of my first book, Unspoken Word, One Moment with Jesus Changes Everything. And so I thought, hey, some of you have asked questions, some of you are wondering when's it coming out, and I thank you for that encouragement and for just being along the ride on this journey. It's a step of faith for sure. There's a lot of learning that's happening along the way, and it's been exciting and wonderful, and sometimes lonely, because when you write a book, you're by yourself writing a book for a lot of the time. And so I just thought it would be really neat to have Thursday talks where I'll come up here, or I'll come on here and just talk about maybe updates, or maybe things I'm learning, or you know, what's happening in the editing process, which starts next week for me I'm so excited to start the editing process with my friend, Drew Tilton. Just super thrilled about that. But anyways, that's what I thought. So be ready for it. If you want to know what's going on, Thursday Talks with Angela, where we talk about the book process. And so for this one, I thought I would just share again, just that little bit of what this book is about. I've had individual conversations with a lot of people. I've shared a little bit here and there, but what is this book about? Well, this book is 12 people in Scripture who had a physical encounter with Jesus. And it's a just dive into how that changed their lives. And one of the things that was a really high value, when I was writing it in the beginning, I really did start with kind of some that I had already begun a process on, some characters, but what I learned along the way was I really wanted and felt compelled that these were very different people, that it wasn't the same look or the same story, but that we were truly hearing from so many different perspectives. And so in there we have super obedient. We have Mary, who we all look at, Mary, the mother of Jesus, and she was obedient and willing, and she was just an ordinary girl. We have Nicodemus in there, a religious leader who came to Jesus with questions and walked away from that conversation, and we kind of go, well, what did you think? You know, we don't really know. We know later, Nicodemus, what happened in his life, but we kind of don't hear about him for a little while. We've got Peter in there. I love Peter, the disciple, or Simon at the time. I love him because he just unashamedly went for things. And it wasn't always the right decision, but he just kind of went for it. And so we've got him and that kind of personality, and someone who was a close follower of Jesus. And we look at one specific encounter in his life, Doubting Thomas in there. And he was the one that kind of springboarded this book, I would say. Nicodemus too, but Doubting Thomas is the one in the early days, if you were talking to me about this, he's probably the one that I talked most about. Again, a follower, but someone who is defined as a doubter, and yet in discovery, he's so much more than that. And so anyways, but it's not, yes, it is about the people. There's more. There's a child in there. There's Roman centurions in there, Pilate. So truly trying to grasp all these different perspectives and how that one encounter with Jesus changed everything. Because that's all it takes, is one encounter. It's up to us to believe. But I hope that this book really, as I've been having conversations with people recently, I hope that this book really makes us remember that these were real people who lived it. We get to read their stories, and this book will kind of dive deep into the stories of these people and what it meant to them to have one moment with Jesus, or several moments, but we look at one moment. But my hope is that this reminds us that these were people that really lived, really had this encounter that we get to read about now, but they lived the story. And so I hope that this just makes the stories come alive for readers. That is my hope. And so update, there's a little inspiration, what it's about. We'll talk more, but update next week. Next Tuesday, I begin the editing process with Drew. And so I am so excited for that. And gosh, our hope, I know some have asked, when is it coming out? Our hope is for 2024. And so realistically, I'm hoping for summer of 2024, but this is my first time. So we're gonna see what this process looks like. But thanks for joining in on the journey. Thanks for everything, and stay tuned next week and we'll have more updates. All right, see you later.